right, so we're gonna do the Pear template for material control as an example, okay? So we went to the O drive, document center, then internal audit templates. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna copy the template real quick. So copy, and then we're actually gonna go to internal audit folder to save these. Which I guess is not here. Oops. All right, just kidding. So O drive, document center, then audits, and then in parentheses internal. And I'm just gonna pretend that one's not there. So we're gonna be doing the ones for 2020. We're gonna do a new folder, and we're gonna name it for the year that it's for 2020. Hold on, I forgot. Let me just put 2020, parentheses 1. You would just put 2020 though, you wouldn't put the parentheses on there. So we're gonna paste the the form in there, and we're gonna open it. And let's see. So the Pear number, remember, you never change it, you leave it the same. The audit report number, however, you would have to change it. So we're gonna go check what the previous one was for. So 2019, material control. So the audit report number was number 1. So it will change to number 2. 02. And the issue date would be today's date, 06/25/2020. And again, this all stays the same. You don't change any of it, except this actually. It's not supposed to be there. I'm actually gonna go in and update these templates because that's not supposed to be on there. Section 2, you leave it the same. So we're just gonna read here to see what our objective evidence is gonna be. Because each bullet point here correlates with these here. And then those correlate with these here. OE is just short for objective evidence. So the first objective evidence is going to be all customer requests and quality clauses from sales order are flowed down to the job traveler. So that means, let's just use one of these ones. So what you would do, well, what I do, is you would read all of these and, try to gather information as to what you need to get to do this. So from here, I'm reading all of these ones, and I see that all I'm gonna need is job travelers. And in the stock room, you just walk back there. So you would go to the back, way in the back over there where Anthony's at, and that's where all our closed job travelers are at. So you would go back there and you would pick a few, and you wanna pick the ones that actually have like data that go with them. Like this one has a group A. See, this one doesn't really have anything. So you would just go through a few of them and kind of pick some, So this one has a group A, or at least it should have a group A. So we're just gonna make sure that everything, the clauses, the quality clauses, which are these ones here. Because it says sales orders flow down to the job traveler. So you would see if there's any, Q clauses here, which the only one that I see is PK4-22. So then we're gonna go over here and just make sure that it was flowed down over here to their quality notes. And it is. It says package per PK4-22. You see it? And then we're gonna go back to this one right there. Package per PK422. So then what we would put here, and again, you can use the previous ones, as a guideline, because I kind of forget myself. So let's go. So it looks like we just need to put just the basic information as to what it is. So sales order. I'm gonna actually put traveler on this one. And unbold that. And you just put the rest of the information over here. So the job number on this one was Z451. So we're just gonna put job Z451. And I'm just gonna put the customer, which was NGAS. And then I can go ahead and put the PO number as well, 3065003. So then over here, target for audited period, I believe it had to be compliant. Full compliance. And we're gonna put compliant here because that clause was flowed down. And let's see what it has here. Customer requested data. Okay, so this one didn't have that problem. Sorry, these always turn themselves bold, but they shouldn't be bold. So, customer clauses were flowed down to the job traveler. So that would be it for that one. And then the job traveler contains all documentation that is required from the sales order. So this one just says Group A. So we're just gonna go through it and make sure that the Group A, that all the Group A paperwork is there. So -30, that's Group A right here. So it looks like there should be a -93 and a -90. So we're just gonna go make sure that the -90 and the 93 are there. So -93 is right there and the -90 is right there. So it's gonna be the same. Compliance and compliance. Objective evidence too. So for these ones, it would be different, but just for this example, we're gonna use the same one because this is the only one that had the Group A that I have here. But, and if it was a different, if you're actually doing the internal audit, you would use a different job traveler. You wouldn't use the same one. Or if you want, you could use the same one, but then you would have to use a different one as well. So NGAS, and we can just put the same information, PO number 3065003. The job traveler contains all documentation that is required from the sales order. So let's take a look at the other one, exactly what I wrote. I guess I kept it pretty brief. So verified, and bold, verified, all documentation required is in the traveler. Alright, so the third one, stockroom is controlled and orderly. So, probably another thing I should have mentioned before this. So, in order to do this, you have to be familiar with the procedures.
Yeah.
So, if you're not, 100% familiar with the procedure, or you forgot, you have to review the work instruction or the procedure that's in place for that. So, the one for stockroom, it's controlled and orderly. Do you know exactly what that means though? So you have to, make sure like, okay, well, what does that mean? What is necessary for the stockroom to be, under control and orderly? So then I actually went and I opened the work instruction just because I already had an idea of what I needed to look for, but I wanted to confirm if there was anything additional that I should be looking at. So let's see. Look, there's one right here for stockroom. So this is work instruction M005, stockroom control. So let's just scroll down and see. So stockroom keys, that's not what we need. Stockroom access, we don't need that. Organizing and managing stockroom. So this is actually something new that I added because of this internal audit that I just did this year, because the stockroom was found not orderly. A lot of stuff was messed up. So when in the stock room, make sure to pay very close attention and always check the label on the parts as well as the label on the boxes in the stock room. So that's telling me right there that we have to make sure all the parts have labels and all the boxes are labeled correctly as well. So no, if the label on the box is no longer legible, make a new label. So again, these are just instructions for the person not doing the internal audit, but just so that we know what to look for. So that right here is telling us that each one should be labeled, okay? So each additional like little set of parts that you find in their waffle packs and a paper reel, even in a bag, that has to be labeled and it has to be legible. Let's see, so this is for the box, and then these are the parts right here. And the waffle packs, it says, confirm all waffle packs and containers with parts in them always have a rubber band wrapped around them to ensure no parts fall out. Confirm all bags are completely sealed. So that's another thing that we have to keep an eye on. So we have to make sure that the boxes and the containers are always, sealed or wrapped. And then it says here, if the rubber bands are wearing out, replace them with a new one. So that way we know that we have to make sure that each time we check them, it does have the rubber bands, because that means that each time that the person is going in there monthly, they should be checking those things and changing them. So they should all be good when we do the internal audit. If parts have data sheets, ensure to put them in the same box with the parts. So these ones, it's kind of hard to tell which ones need to have data. So the only way that I know is when I see that there's data sheets already in there, if one of them is not with the parts, because each one of these is for the date code. So let's say that there's a piece of the date code 1649, and then there's another piece for date code 1820, but it has no data form. Then we know there that one's the one that's missing. So then this says, so when we walk in there, we have to make sure that all the boxes are pushed back. If they're not, that's a thing that we mark as not conforming. So what I did is I wrote my little notes as to everything that we needed to check in there, in the stock room, so that I know what to look for when I go do it. So we're actually gonna go to the stock room and note some of our findings.